My name's Corey Clark. I play bass in the band Mother of Graves. I've been playing for, I think, 16, 17 years now. I've played in a number of bands in the city, and I've been local to Indianapolis for more than 2/3 of my life, I think. So. I grew up on like 80s and 90s thrash and like, old Metallica, and that's the stuff I grew up on, Death, shit like that. So I'm constantly still listening to that stuff. And I think that's where I get like the medium, like I get to play slow and heavy, but then I just listen to the faster stuff on my own time, And that's another thing, like I work in a tattoo shop, so music is forever like just changing, and different people's interests are just getting popped in there every now and again, and sometimes I'll catch myself kind of tapping my foot to something that I probably would never put on the radio, and in a way it can be somewhat inspiring because you hear something like way outside of your realm, but with that I'm more or less paying attention to the music and, like you said, like timing and rhythms and stuff like that, not necessarily the lyrics or the song itself. Like with Mother of Graves, a lot of the feeling is like sadness. Like you listen to the tracks and they just kind of, they're heavy weighing on you. So there is times where I can kind of play some pretty stuff in there, add to the sadness.
Sure.
I normally play a Varellin meat smoke that I had made. It's a custom meat smoke. It was made with 400 tube watts instead of the standard 300 tube watts that he normally makes. He had to add like a fan on the back of it because it got so hot. It runs on 865 50s. It's just loud and tough as nails. But it's very heavy. It's not something I would want to travel with. It's not something I would want to take on the road. And it's kind of like a baby, you know what I mean? Like you want to take it out and show it off, but you don't want to, just run it through the dirt,
Ben, what are some of the differences that you've noticed moving to the dark glass?
The Alpha Omega, this is the 900. My back feels better. That's the
not
biggest
having
thing.
to carry it.
Yeah. So yeah, this one, it weighs almost nothing, and I feel like it's what I need it to be. It's super versatile. It gives me options to where I can have 3 different tones inside the head with the intelligent foot switch down here. So yeah, there's 3 different tones I can have: a little bit more beefy, a louder, crunchy tone, and then there's a softer tone, and then there's kind of one in the middle. And then you also have a mute on there too. But yeah, normally all of my amps are Emperor amps. I have the 212 that Indy String Theory actually helped me square away not that long ago. Yeah, we had to send it away and get a speaker replaced. But now it sounds phenomenal. And then I also have a Emperor 215 that this sits on top of, and I also have an Emperor 610 that I like to play as well.
This one has the Weber 12-inch.
Yes, yeah, this
speakers.
is 2 Weber bass 12s, and they're rated at 200 watts a piece. So it's a 400 watt 212, which is a lot.
What kind of speakers do you have in the other Emperors?
I think Eminence in the 15s and the Neos in the 610.
That's got to help with weight.
Yeah, it's that one is the heaviest of the bunch. The 215 isn't bad, but it's a little front heavy, so it likes to teeter forward when you're carrying it.
So from the pedal board perspective, tell us a little bit about kind of what you decided to keep in this more stripped down. I know you were talking a little bit about some new things.
Yeah.
Maybe say the names of them, kind of how they run, and what you kind of envision or use them for on a regular basis.
Sure. So with Mother of Graves, it's a lot more bare bones as far as actual playing, but there's a lot of atmosphere that I like to build with the bass. So I use the Canyon, which is the one that I left on the board. I really like the options that I have. There's a shimmer option that just kind of swells and it kind of brings like the low end, and it like kind of just like I said, it just billows out, you know, and that's the one that I left on the board. I also have the Micro Tube B7K, which is another dark glass pedal. This is the Ultra, and that just kind of helps me kind of reform my tone. There's a lot of options and a lot of EQ that I can use on there that kind of helps me kind of change. If I'm not using this head, it kind of helps me change to where I can get it to sound pretty close to this head.
That's good.
Yeah.
Could you give us an example of the Canyon?
Yeah, the Canyon. Falls away. I love it.
It's got some real presence to it.
Yes, yeah.
It doesn't get muddy or like overly cloudy thunderstorming like you would expect something
More
that
for guitar.
dense on bass.
Yeah,
to
it's
be.
more for
Yeah.
guitar. Like I've seen lots of guitar players use it, and I had it for a guitar, and I just was like, yeah, let's see what it sounds like, and it kind of opened me up, and then now my guitar players each have one too.
Sure. And what's the? I see a Chase Bliss something or other next to it. What's
This
going
one
on
here.
there? Yeah.
This is a Heavy Menace Empress. This is a yeah. This is I just got this. I was telling him I literally have had it for 30 hours, 24 hours. I've got to play with it for probably 4 hours.
All right.
It's just it's super versatile from what I've gathered so far. There's gain, weight, output. There's a low, high, and a mid, and then you also have a gate on it. And you also have there's a toggle switch that's, what does it say, light heavy? Yeah, no, it says light-ish, and then it says heavy, and then it says heavier. So you get that 3 toggle right there, which it does kind of change. It's cool. It's
and that's
really cool.
acting more as like a compressor, right?
In a dirty tone, super dirty.
Okay.
Yeah, it has, like I said, it's got a gain. It's just really good. And the gate, like I said, it's instant. Without it, you get that little bit of hum,
Yeah.
and you can
Yeah,
really
eats
dial it in
that's
too.
for sure.
Yeah.
Are you running the ISP decimator as well?
Currently, no. I haven't had to since I put it since I started using this. So that might actually end up off the board and open a spot for another pedal.
Is that kind of the, I don't know, like mindset of what you have in this current era of what Mother of Graves is, or is that something that you feel like is kind of carried through the collection and you think is going to continue on in the future, or are you exploring other options?
I'm always looking for new stuff. I'm always experimenting with other things, and it's just if it makes the board or not, that's the biggest thing. I have a pretty good idea of the way I want things to sound and the way I want them presented. So it comes natural to kind of pick and choose, like if as soon as I hear it, I'm playing with the options, going through all the different toggles and different, EQs that are on there, and if I can't find it within that first little session, then I'm like, okay, let's set it aside. Let's try to put some time into something else,
So, is this the bass that you like to use all the time, or do you?
Yeah. I strictly play Ibanez, and I wouldn't say that I wouldn't play other guitars, but I think on stage they're lighter. The necks are super thin. They're smooth and fast, which is funny because I was playing like technical death metal, and that's what got me comfortable on Ibanez guitars when I started playing in a post-metal band, which things started slowing down a little bit, more doomy, and now I'm playing in a death doom band that literally is just solid chords and just big open notes and very little speed involved. Yeah.
What model is this?
This is the I think it's SMR 805? SRM,
Whatever jumble of letters and numbers
yeah,
they called
they
this one. That
they
was a
change
dumb
it, and I've got
question.
four of them. So SMRS 805, yeah.
What is it like to have like a festival here in town that is bringing a lot of like similar
I think
genres together?
that's amazing. It's amazing, yeah. I think that it's grown exponentially the past few years. Like we Drood played the, I think what they call it, like Post is Doom, when they had it at Indy City Brewery a handful of years ago. Drood played that, and it was really fun to see like where it was and where it's at. Like
it's
now
gone
it's
into.
like it's on another level now. It's so much energy and so much effort has been put into it that it's just like it's mind-blowing, honestly, for it to be like down the street. Like I drove 15 minutes to get here. You know what I mean? It's just, that's insane.
Wow.
It's crazy to see what's happening, and it's one of those things where it's going to be even more crazy to see in 3 to 5 years what it's doing here.